Welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. May you live your truth. Live from Los Angeles, this is Dr. Erin, Dr. Divinity, founder and host of Good Morning La La Land and Soulciété. I'm also an international best-selling author, podcaster, global speaker, apper, and of course, mother, most importantly. So we come together each day to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, align with universal law, and basically create lives that we love. We also come together as a community in Soulciété, committed to the vision of being the number one spiritual leaders community in the world, committed to enlightenment, empowerment, and entrepreneurship. We truly believe that when someone awakens, they have a gift and message to bring to the world. Together, we are awakening 1 billion people. And how we do this is developing world-class spiritual leaders. So you can also find me on Instagram as drerin.tv. That's DRERIN.tv. And same with Facebook and all over the board. So let's do this thing. I want to talk to you today more about relationships. Relationship for me has been a very interesting journey. I was very codependent. I would place my power outside of myself. The title of today's talk is The One. You are the one you've been waiting for. Walt Whitman says, life doesn't give you the people you want. It gives you the people you need to love you, to hate you, to make you, to break you, and to make you the person you were meant to be. I truly believe that. I believe that all of life is for our awakening. So before awakening, I was completely codependent in my relationships. I've said this over and over. I'm very public about this. And basically, what would happen is when things were good in my relationship, I was flying high. And when things were going poorly, I was really down. My life was literally a roller coaster, up and down. It was all over the place. Breakups, makeups, highs, lows, in and out, all that BS, right? Belief systems. So for most of my life, I literally was waiting for the one. I had bought into the concept that our culture really does tell us through movies, through magazines, through everything, fairy tales, that someday someone's going to arrive and they're going to complete you. It's a complete, Jerry Maguire, you complete me kind of a thing. I had bought completely into that. And what happens, as we know in life, is the more we assign our power outside of ourselves, life has this brilliant and genius way of having it reflect back and entangling us to where we have to surrender, get down on our knees and beg for mercy, right? So for me, that was some years back, I'd found myself in a very dysfunctional relationship with kind of a famous Grammy-winning artist, musician, and he was a addict, in and out of, on and off the wagon. It was a nightmare. He would cheat when he'd go on the wagon and do all kinds of crazy, insane things. Well, I always kept thinking that if he just got well, then, my problems would go away. But I didn't realize it's actually me. It was my dysfunction. It was my addiction to this thing called love, to handing my power over and over again. Just like the alcoholic or addict hands their power over to drugs or alcohol, the codependent hands their life and their power over and over again to relationship. So there I was, balled up and curled up in my bed, waiting to basically just please, I don't want to live anymore. How am I going to do this? And then we know that this is where the surrender and the beauty comes, in that we no longer look to the world. In fact, what happened for me is I really began to surrender and revere and give my life over to a higher purpose, something more than trying to fulfill some needs that were based off of really dysfunctional programming. But so the point was that I had assigned relationships as my higher power, before that, which is a terrible, terrible way to live. Basically led me down a very self-destructive path. And finally, after I created this low for myself, really, I had to wake up. It demanded me to love myself and give my life over to, something greater than myself. The truth is that the higher power is always within. The moment that we even assign anything, money, relationship, anything outside of ourselves, our joy, our suffering, all that, we become disempowered, right? The truth of relationships is this: the primary relationship is within. All other relationships are the projection and reflection of our ability or inability to love. The relationship between the individual self and the higher self is the core relationship. This is yoga. This is the ultimate yoga. The merging of the individual mind with the highest consciousness in unity. So if you awaken to the metaphysical reality that relationships are the outpicturing of your consciousness, my consciousness, you can begin to use love and relationship as a grand teacher in life. This is how many, spiritual cultures view relationship. They view relationship as a reverence. Some people are ministers of divine, like that's what I've handed my path over to. Some people revere their relationship, and it is their practice. It's their daily spiritual practice to stay in principle. Other people, they revere money or their whatever, right? What are you revering? What are you handing your life over to? In a good way, meaning that you have it be your teacher, you have surrender to it, and you allow it to guide you in developing yourself mentally, emotionally, and physically and spiritually, right? Love is the ultimate mirror of who you are. You're experiencing this union with all that is through communication, through acknowledgement, through all this thing. And I believe that when you finally let go of everything that is holding you back from being loving, you naturally walk through life making love to life, making love to it, loving all of life. To love life is to love every drop of it, even the suffering. It doesn't mean you have to stay in suffering, but you have to love it and understand it and realize it is your friend and it is guiding you. Every emotion is a beautiful thing, guiding you back to truth. And so the point is this, is that you're the one. Your higher self is the one. Love and divine, that's the one. You are that. And so you are the one you've been waiting for. To love is to express your divinity. Love is eternal. It is ever giving, and it comes from one source within. Love is what guides us. It's truth. It's divine. It's God. You are the one you've been searching for. So in modern culture, it is customary practice to place basically the concept of the one outside of the self, believing that we need another one to complete us. And it's not the truth. It's not the truth. Spiritual work shifts that limited concept outside into inside. The one has been you all along. It always has been. It always will be. You are the amazing person that shines and radiates love, and it can only be reflected from your expression out, coming back. So being the one, you no longer basically, what does it mean, right? What does it mean to be the one? It means that you no longer seek external validation, nor false identities, roles, or titles. Literally, stepping into being the one is saying, I'm responsible. What can I bring to life instead of what can life bring to me? There's no need to believe that anyone is right or wrong. When you are the one, you accept and see the miracle of every single human being that comes into your life. Whether it be a lover, whether it be someone that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, whether it be a friend, whether it be whatever. Becoming the one is taking full responsibility of creating your own experience, circumstances, and the expression of your relationships. The one attracts perfect expression. That because you are perfect expression. So you move past chaos, you move past deceit, you move past all that because you're no longer interested in that. You're literally just interested in loving. And not making anyone wrong, and not trying to change anyone. You realize they're the one too. They're divine. They're God staring at you, saying, love me unconditionally and put boundaries on me, right? Romance, partnership, friendships, marriage, all relationships becoming fulfilled at all levels. You become liberated through self-expression and extraordinary communication. You're no longer afraid of how people are going to react because you don't have to get your validation from out there, right? So awakened relationships become the platform of birthing all types of creativity, not just, yes, sometimes babies, yes, sometimes art, sometimes just expression. That every relationship births something, right? What is that? Maybe it's healing. Maybe it's growth. Unique expressions of love exist for every one of us. Authenticity is the most important thing we have in our relationships. So in this, I know the truth of authenticity, transparency, and stepping into being the one you've been waiting for your entire life. Be the equivalent of the person that you seek. This is the true law of attraction, right? If you want to call in the one, you have to be the one. You have to be that person. So if you want somebody who is extraordinary, you want someone who's a great communicator, you want someone who's good in bed, you want someone who is abundant, you want all these things. Are you that? And that's what we have to ask ourselves. Love is like electricity flowing through you, transmitting vibrationally in every single cell. It's who you are. It's the life force. And so in this, I just know the law of giving and receiving, knowing that what you put out has to come back. And so as you are the one, you, of course, fully receive the one in whatever form that comes in. The shift of all of life, including love, is no longer looking for it outside. It's becoming that. It's embodying love fully. And so love is the only truth. But just because you love someone does not mean that you can be in a relationship with that person. That's where loving the self has to be primary. Being in peace is always the primary work we do. Being with divine, being in source, takes being in peace. There's a major distinction between functioning and dysfunctioning relationships. Being in a relationship involves workability. Does it work? Does it not work? There's got to be agreements. There's purpose. There's intentions. There's objectives. There's all kinds of aspects of relationship. Love just is, but relationships are their journeys together, like a ship that goes through the water. It goes through storms. It goes through good times. It goes through all of it. And you've got to be a team. You've got to have workability. There's got to be roles. There's got to be communication. Werner Erhard gave a great talk on involvement in relationships versus love. It was a brilliant talk in, I think, the 60s or 70s. Somehow I got my hands on it, and I think that it's not even available to the public anymore. But he said, an involvement is a relationship that excludes the world. And he gave a brilliant talk on this distinction between love. And so relationships are understanding and being aware of how we relate to something or someone, whereas involvement is to make intricate, entangled, and complicated, to draw and hold within itself. That's dysfunctional. Your world should get bigger and broader and more beautiful with the relationships that have us thrive. Dysfunctional relationships don't work, and they cause chaos, and they have us close down our universe within us. So what do? We need to set our intention, be really clear, like there's a blank canvas for all of life. What do you desire in your relationships? In your relationships with your friends, in your relationships with your lover, in your relationship with your partner, whoever that is. What is it that you truly want to experience, and what do you want to give to them? What do you want to be known for? What do you want them to experience you as? How do you show up? What are your principles you live by? To be the one, to not be a mirror, but to be the stand for love for the people in your life. And so today's universal law is the law of attraction. Be that which you seek. The law of attraction states this universal mechanism is the best described by the axiom you attract and repel that which you are. This law is the culmination of all universal laws and describes how you manifest and demonstrate through physical embodiment. Life sets into motion by the magnetic frequency of your soul, which is created from your beliefs, the actualization of who you are, and the actions you take. So today's practice is to be that which you seek. So take 10 minutes to journal, asking yourself things such as, are you being that which you seek in your relationships? List all the qualities you desire in a partner, and then ask yourself if you are all those qualities. Who do you need to become to have the relationship you desire and want? Are you being a mirror within your relationships? Are you reacting? Or are you committed to loving? And so on that note, I know that love is the only truth, and that you are the one you've been waiting for. And when you love yourself and you step fully into your power, life has to reflect back love, because that's all that there is. So have a wonderful day, and may you live your truth. Thanks again for tuning in to Dr. Erin and Soulciété podcast. I'd like to invite you to write a review on iTunes. Also, I have a free gift for you, a money meditation and worksheet, which you can find at soulciété.com. That's www.soulciete.com. Or 30 guided meditations at drerin.tv. That's www.drerin.tv. We also hold monthly Soulciété events that are all about transformation and building extraordinary community. You can also watch me live daily on goodmorninglalaland.com or Instagram at drerin.tv. Grab your free Manifestation Masterclass with the purchase of my international best-selling book, Awakening. a 40-day guide to unleashing your spiritual powers, life purpose, and manifesting your dreams at erinfallhaskell.com/awakening book.